Hello, guys. Bob here for TNL Network. Thank you for joining us for Tuesday Night Live. And on behalf of our entire TNL Network crew, we want to thank you again for joining us and watching and supporting us. Tonight, we visit with a young lady that has become much in demand with all the projects she's taken on in the last 24 months or so. She's been sought after by some of the industry's biggest events and can be attributed in making everything she takes on much more successful. She knows how to use her skills in marketing and social media to propel events to the next level. This segment of tonight's show is brought to you by North Pole Cornerstones, a new, unique, and entertaining educational 4-day experience. This is Tuesday Night Live. Guys, my co-host has been very, very busy lately. He's been out on the road with his goods and wares for a couple of weeks now, and I'm sure his dogs Askham and Molly are happy to see him and Jetta finally make it back home. Y'all go easy on the boy as he's just trying to be a good daddy and bring home the bread, or should I say leftovers. Here's the Spangler!
Hello, everybody. So good to see you. Yeah, I think my dogs miss my wife a whole lot more than they miss me.
Well, now there could be a lot to be said about that.
Yes, we don't allow them in the bedroom at the house, and I can walk out of the bedroom in the morning and go and watch the television and do all this, and they'll stay at the door and look at the door until she comes out.
They're not stupid.
Yeah. She gets them the treats first, I guess.
Yeah, I know Askham really likes to play ball or fetch with you when you get home too, and I know you have to do that before you even get in the house good. So
Yeah, exactly. You know him well.
yeah.
Yes, and folks, his name is spelled Askum, and that's for the simple reason when people say, "What's your dog's name?" I say, "Ask him."
And then the reply to that is, "What is your dog's name?" And you say, "Ask
Ask
him."
him. It's an endless cycle.
Only the clown can do it and pull it off, right? Make it look good.
Okay. Now that you're talking about this, okay, I do have to bring out family pictures because that's what any good dad does, right?
Oh, sure, absolutely.
All right, family pictures.
I love that one. I saw that one before, and that's a great picture of the two.
The one on this side is Askham. The one on this side is Molly.
Yeah.
Molly thinks everybody's there to see her. Askham thinks his job is to escort you off the property and quickly.
And they got that demeanor, that look. When you look at that picture, you can tell.
Yeah, you can tell which one's happy and which one is serious.
Yeah, that's for sure. Well, everyone, please say hello to our favorite producer, Angela Mack. She's over here making things move along really smooth as always. Your camera's off, Angie.
Oh, no. Hello.
Everybody say hi.
They're blowing up my phone, Bob. They want to know why your background is different.
Isn't that something? Well, I got to say that the TNL background wanted the night off. He said he was tired of just hanging around and never getting a word in edgewise. So we let him have the night off. We'll have him back soon. He just wanted to lay around in the living room and kind of watch YouTube and see what the show's all about from a different perspective.
Watch a little gun smoke in your house.
Yeah, you know us well. That's for sure. All right. If you missed last week's show, we're sorry. uh, we took the week off, and Spangle was out on the road, and I was working on a special project. And again, I'll give a quick report. Been doing restoration on our house, not just painting it, but grinding all the layers of paint from all the years, 7 or 8 different layers of paint plus primer,
And I love that new fireplace you put in.
board by board, going back to the bare wood so that we can kind of get that fresh look. And it's been a task. It's been a daunting task, but we have made quite a bit of headway in the last month thanks to Santa Randall Checker Lee, or Randall Santa Checker Lee, as he likes to put it on Facebook, and filling in for me a couple of weeks on Mondays. He will be doing that every other week throughout the rest of the season. And then taking last week off, that gave me a great opportunity to take care of the one commitment that I had that was kind of pressing that had to get done. And again, the honeydews on the house. So all right. You know what? If you did miss last week, I know quite a few people. I know Kane Smith. He wrote me and said, I went over and watched Courtney Lofton and Greg Swick episodes from a few years back. He said those were two great shows. And I said, yeah, absolutely. Those were two of the better shows that came out that first or second season. We had Greg on a couple of times, had Courtney on a couple of times, and those were great shows. So again, if you get a chance, go over to YouTube, catch some of those reruns if you get to Jones in for the Spangle and poor old
And subscribe while you're there.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, are you ready to run the promo for our trivia?
I'm not.
She's not.
Boy, don't give her a week off again.
Okay. Are we ready?
Yeah, she's in the chat
Wait,
box over there.
it's SOS, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
The first half of the TNL show is brought to you by SchoolofSantis.com. School of Santis is a premier educational opportunity where fun and education meet each year in scenic Branson, Missouri. In 2026, our keynote instructor will be Joe Barney. Tuition is $499 for 4 days of classes, Thursday the 16th through Sunday the 19th. Every July, over 100 Santas and Mrs. Clauses, along with a few elves, gather in the Ozarks to learn the latest skills offered by a whole host of professional instructors. Education by day, with fun and entertainment by night. Meals and in-house entertainment, as well as 2 Branson theater shows are included. For more, or to secure your place at School of Santis, contact Tanya Lay at 800-432-4202 or email her at bransonticket.com. Remember, contact Tanya Lay at 800-432-4202 before it's all sold out. Now, back to the show and our out-of-this-world crazies, Bob, Spangle, and everyone's favorite producer, Angela Mack.
I bet she put that last sentence in there.
She did.
All right. So, anyways, the trivia right now is going to get your name in the hat for Cornerstones, which will be drawn at the end of this season. And then your name will also go in the hat for a scholarship for the School of Santas in Branson, and it will be drawn sometime around June of next year. So there's 2 places to get the education that you want to get going with. All right. So, anyways, how does the Grinch know that Christmas has come regardless of his actions? And name where the Grinch lives and how long he had lived there.
I'm sure everybody's seen that movie. That's a very
Yeah.
popular movie, but will you remember that from memory of the movie, or is that something you'll have to go research?
Yep. So how does the Grinch know that Christmas has come regardless of his actions? And name where the Grinch lives and how long he has lived there. So anyways, let's get on with this. All right, shall we?
Let's go.
All right. So tonight's featured guest has had an exciting and busy years so far, with more to come. Earlier this year, she, along with Santa Family Reunion Team, had a very successful event in Tennessee. Since then, she has taken on multiple projects, joining in to help with her marketing and her skills and her knowledge. Please welcome to the show and to tell us all about these endeavors, Liz Ruch. Miss Liz.
Hey, everyone.
There you are. How are you?
I'm good.
Well, welcome back. We have a lot to cover, and I know that you have a lot of explaining to do, or explaining, as I like to say. So let's just go ahead and jump right in and get started.
Before you start, I'm really surprised with all the things that you got going on
Mhm.
that you have time to be here with us tonight. We are lucky.
We're great. We're
Well, I
very
have my
grateful.
phone next to me in case I have anything pop up while I'm talking to you.
Well, and that's what tonight is all about. We want to let everyone know what all you're involved with, all the different things that you're helping on. Because I tell you what, man, you are involved in my ideas, or in the way I see things, and the biggest projects in the industry right now. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it.
It's
I think,
crazy. It's
I
crazy.
think,
So Santa Fe reunion, we were just talking about that, me and Tracy, my husband,
yeah,
and we were like, that was just this year, right? Just happened this year.
I
Santa Fe,
know
it feels like it was so far ago, but it was just this year.
it
And
does, but
Sherry and Trish, they were the ones who pulled it off. I was just in the background, and I'm taking over for Sherry, but yeah, I mean, we're still recuperating from that, and it was amazing. Everywhere I've gone, people keep talking about how awesome it was, and I read all the surveys, and we had, there was a lot of different things being said about Santa Fe reunion, and one of the biggest things was they want some more different workshops from some different people, because it's the same people over and over again. So we're going to work on that. We are going to work on vendors, which I've talked to Spangle about. We've increased the vendor space bigger. So now the vendors can have larger spaces than the little tiny spaces we had. Here's the biggest awesome thing. We're going to set up the day before the event starts. Isn't that better, Spangle? Yeah, we're going to
Much
set up
better.
the day before. So that's going to be awesome. What are some other things? Oh, so I was just telling George Smithers, he's an author. We are thinking and probably going to do an author showcase where we're going to invite all the different authors in our industry to come and just line up, and everybody can be like an author con. You can go by and get your books signed. So we're pretty excited about that. The pre-registration. I have 450 spots, and 441 people have pre-registered. So that's insane. And I have
yes.
50 vendor spots, and 57 vendors have pre-registered. So
Well,
it's, I
and
mean,
and as you said, being able to set up the day before, folks like Spangle that has to have 25 or 30 booths, vendor spaces, and all the stuff that he brings, it takes a while to set that up, and
it does. And
yeah,
then you're stressed out because everybody's coming in like literally 10 minutes after you finish setting up, instead of having a good night's sleep and coming in. And so everybody, when they come in Thursday morning to register, there's going to be 4 hours of shopping that they can just do before lunch even happens. So instead of checking in and have nowhere to go shop.
You got me on that pre-registration, don't you?
I'm pretty sure you're on there, Spangle. I'm pretty sure.
and I
So
know that Spangle, he appreciates a good night's sleep because he has to drive Jetta there so she can set everything up for him.
that's right. But I'm so
It's right
excited.
there.
We have a great, Santa Fe reunion team. Trish is still on board because she's pretty much the cook. I'm more of the dishwasher, and Trish is the cook. But everybody sees me because I'm over there picking up your dirty dishes. So
Well, yeah.
I'm just there. But yeah, I'm pretty excited. And then of course after that, people had been calling me and contacting me and asking me for questions or do this, do that. I mean, Ed Taylor called and I was on his little summit, for about kindness, and that was pretty cool because I was with a bunch of people that like are
Wait,
real.
wait, wait, wait a minute. He asked you to come to a summit or
Yeah,
about kindness?
about kindness. I know. I
Wow.
know. I guess I fooled him.
He must be really getting hard up.
All those bottles, you've been
And,
washing all
and,
those
and all
bottles.
the panelists he had were these amazing people who are doing like real amazing things for their communities and even the world kind of a thing. It was pretty cool, to do that. So yeah.
So what else is new with Santa Fe reunion? Anything else you want to cover?
Um, no, I do. I will say this. Probably starting January, February, I'm going to start the application process for the workshop presenters. I'm going to reach out to a lot of people that I'm hoping will come in and do that. But I would like to have the workshop presenters established before registration starts. And I want registration to start probably March, which sounds really early, but with the people on the pre-register list are going to get the first dibs to, notification to register 7 days before it goes public. And if everybody on the list registers, we might sell out before it even goes public.
Well, and I think that Santa Fe reunion, not that it hasn't in the past, but I think it really has become the cream of the crop. It is the one event that everybody wants to attend when it comes to conventions or gatherings. And so, what was the difference in 2 years ago's total numbers opposed to this year's total numbers?
I don't remember they were really close. I think we opened registration for more people this year because we got to a wait list. So
Yeah.
we opened it to more people. I think it was probably maybe 80 or so difference. But I think where it grew was a lot of people coming in just to shop the vendors.
Right.
We had so many people come in just because they couldn't get in or they didn't have the time to do the whole event, but just to shop the vendors. So, I mean, with 450 registered attendees, and then, I mean, it was probably close to 80 or 90 people just to shop the vendors. And then, of course, there was a lot of people who came with somebody who registered, but they were just there,
Well,
for
and,
the
and
fun of
you
it.
throw the vendors numbers in, and everyone who attended, we're looking somewhere between 600 and 650.
It was 680 name badges that we created.
Now,
And it's with vendors, vendor guests, all that kind of stuff.
yeah, the one thing I noticed most was the expansion of the vendors' space out into the hallway and all the way down to the main ballroom.
Right. And they didn't like that very much. The convention center didn't like that very much. So that's why I decided to double the space in the vendor room so that we can accommodate the vendors in there and also give the vendors a break. Because I know there was a lot of, nothing time and the vendors didn't get to go out and eat and everything. So I would like to lock up the vendor room an hour or so each day so the vendors can go eat and everything, during the workshop time when there's not really too much shopping, and give those vendors some time to, have a break instead of sitting there twiddling their thumbs. Because as a vendor, I understand that they're pretty much the biggest part of our event, and they need to be treated, the right way.
So why did the convention center not like people out in the hallway? I mean, this
It was
seems.
the traffic, it was the congestion, fire things.
I
Yeah.
don't think there was that many people. I mean, it was like
They, yeah, they said we can still do it, just not to the amount we had it. So I want to keep all of it. I probably will. The author showcase will most likely be in the hallway because I won't have space for them in the vendor room. But those would just be tables; they wouldn't be full on booths. So that
Yeah.
would be a little
And is
different.
there anything stopping you from raising the attendees up to 500 or something?
Um, no, that's not announced yet. Shh. My biggest issue is the banquet hall. I have to make sure everybody can be seated because it was already pretty tight.
Well,
So
I mean,
that
at some point, you can still sell tickets and say, "Hey, the banquet's done, but if you want to attend the event, you can still go, but you just don't
We
get.
could. That would be a management thing that we had to figure out with name badges and make sure no one sneaks into the food and things like that. But we could potentially do that. We do have the 4 classrooms,
Tickets.
so we could potentially do that. That's a great idea, Spangle. We'll think on that one, okay? So, yeah, I'm excited. I mean, we're already working on it. It seems like 2 years it'll be gone before we know it.
Event of
So,
that size and everything that it curtails to put all the things together in the back. Folks don't, I mean, I don't think folks really understand the undertaking it takes.
it's the craziest little details. Like we forgot to have this past year one. We forgot to tell them to change out the tablecloths. And we were like, tablecloths are getting a little dirty. Did y'all change them? Well, you didn't have that in the writer. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's like little tiny details on and on with that. So yeah, it's crazy. And that's why it's so cool to have such a great team that,
Some of that you think it would just be
they
common
just,
sense.
yeah, well, I know, but
Dot the I's and cross the T's.
exactly. So yeah.
Okay, well, moving on
Oh,
to recap your 2025 year
yeah.
of workshops, conventions, and schools. June 6th through 8th, hosted by Bluegrass Christmas Performers, CPW Christmas Performer.
That was the first of your adventures.
Yes. So when Rachel and we've been taught Rachel King and I have been just chatting as gal pals for a while, and we had that little dream, and we decided that we wanted to do some kind of school or something for women, just because there's stuff out there for us, but it's always an addition. It's not a focus. It's so we just thought we had crazy ideas. Anyways, she was like, well, Santa True, CPW, blah, blah, blah. But True wants to meet you. And so she said, you need to go to the CPW in Cincinnati. I'm like, okay. It was the third thing. He has the workshop 1, workshop 2, workshop 3. And so we started at number 3 instead of going in order. And we went to Cincinnati, and oh my gosh, those people that group is amazing. They brought in a improv group, Improv Cincinnati, and that was so much fun. He actually just taught us little skills and all that stuff. And I got to meet so many people, and got to meet True in person, and had a lot of fun with him. Oh yeah,
Did you not see True and Branson?
fun.
Did you not see True and Branson?
No, no, I didn't get to be. I came. My first year was Santa Ana University, so he was the year before.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't get to see True and Branson. So but anyways, we made really really good connections there, and that's actually June. We're having the Wondrous Women of Christmas. One of the conferences will be there at their Cincinnati location, but it was just really cool to learn a different skill set when it comes to performance. True's really big on performance, and it's also really cool because all the things that he, the shout outs, the Macarena and all that kind of stuff, that's all over the place, but it's kind of cool to see where, it's being taught most often and where it comes from. But it's really different to go to different areas of the country and see what they're doing. And, that group is doing great things, and they're focused on training their community and their people and reaching out, and it was a blast. I loved it. If anybody wants more advanced training in performance, go to a CPW. I mean, just go find one.
And it's been mentioned recently that education has come more localized. Used to, you had to go to the bigger events or to a big school to get that. Now more and more of the chapters and the organizations locally are putting together workshops in schools, and
Yes,
you see more and more and more opportunity to get out there and learn from different folks.
And Rachel did a really cool little presentation to True because he's in the same class as Spangle there into the Santa Claus Hall of Fame. So they did a little thing there for him to recognize him, and that was very sweet and it was awesome. And it was a nice intimate feeling, and it was really cool to be a part of that for sure. Rachel throws on a good presentation, so you can't go wrong with whatever she does.
Very cool. So I guess let's go ahead and move along to the next event. Boy, did we have a great time in Branson this year, as always. So recap for everyone, School of Santas, Branson, July 17th through 20th, 2025. We had Lee Andrews, Rockstar Santa. Tell us about all the rest of the stuff that
Well,
happened.
School of Santas is always deep in my heart because it was our very, very, very first school. It was our very first time to witness the culture that is the Claus world. And it was Santa Ana University that was there. And Lee Andrews, oh my gosh, I always loved him. When I saw him in 2023 at Santa Fe Reunion, I was like, he gets it. He's the one. He's much younger than me, but I feel like my brain is in his same realm when it comes to marketing and performance and all that stuff. I just love him. And he was the inspiration, for me to go back and figure out different things in marketing as far as, my husband is kind-hearted Santa. When he was Rockstar Santa, I was like, oh my gosh, we can't just be Santa Tracy. We have to be something big and awesome. And that was the inspiration. But he just brought so much. And then Shaun White brought so much. I just love seeing her all the time. She's a class act, so professional, and still so sweet and kind at the same time, and gorgeous. I hate her, but I love her. I want, oh my gosh, I want to grow up to be Shaun White. That's all I'm going to say with that. But the
Me
people,
too.
yeah, right. And you squeezed a bunch more vendors in there. I mean, so we were all packed in. It was fun. It was a big group this year, Spangle. You had a big group this year.
Yeah, we were maxed out pretty much.
Yeah.
But Liz, how Spangle is with the innovative side of things and always come up with these new ideas and stuff. He called me the other night. He says, Bob, I've got a great idea. I said, what's that, Spangle? He said, I'm going to invent a convention stretcher. I said, why? Somebody gets sick, you're going to have to carry somebody out. He said, no, I'm going to stretch the building with these great big apparatuses you wouldn't believe.
Well, I remember I walked in on, I think it was Wednesday before everything started, and I saw all the tables. I was like, "Oh my gosh, how do you squeeze all these tables in here?" It was great, but there was so many
With the
new people in
stretcher.
there, and there was so many younger people in there. It was crazy how the different mix of people. And you picked really good shows this year. The Michael Jackson thing, that was the first time I got to see it. I live in Branson, and you'd think I'd see all these shows, but that was the first time I got to see it, and that was awesome. And then the little I already forgot her name, the one who was doing the documentary.
Which one? Marley's?
Yeah,
Yes,
Marley's.
yes, thank you. And we were talking about the Michael Jackson. She goes, I remember this song. I remember this song, and me and Sean were like, I remember when Thriller came on network TV, and we sat around the table waiting for it to air. She's like, what? I was like, yeah, back in the day, you had to wait for things to air and be there in person.
Well, we had two ladies doing documentaries.
I didn't realize. Oh, yeah, there was the other one. I forgot. What was her name, too?
Oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank. Elizabeth.
Yes.
How could you forget
Liz.
that name?
How can you forget?
I did, see? And by the way, tonight I'm going to forget a lot of people's names when I talk about all the stuff that I've done this year. So I apologize right off the bat that
She sent me a flash drive with about 2,000 pictures on it.
Oh my gosh.
Every picture she took, she sent it to me in a flash drive.
Wow. It was a great event. And then, I want to pop up a picture. I'm going to pop up the picture of, hold on. Do. Is it showing?
Nope.
And you'll add it to the scene.
Okay.
There you go.
So that was the big group. And then you want to know something really cool that Spangle did this year? He did a vow renewal. And I'll show you a picture of that. And that was really neat. So everybody who was it, how many couples was it? 13 couples, right?
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
13 couples stood on that little tiny stage, and Santa Mel, that's her right there, did the vow renewal, and we all got to do that together, and it was really fun and cool and special. That was a neat idea, Spangle.
Was the plaque a good idea, you think?
Yes, I have my plaque. I have my rose actually somewhere right here next to me. I have my rose right next to me over here.
Does it smell like a rose still?
I don't know. Let me see. I remember you made it smell really, really good. Yes, it does. It still smells like a rose. It does. But that was really
The
special.
little things, right?
Huh?
It's the little things.
It is. It's and changing things up and doing something different and something unexpected. And it just brought so much joy and happiness, and just it was just neat. All of us together, different stages of our marriages, different stages of life, even our career, all getting together and still committing to each other in a cool way.
Yeah, I had a couple of people come up to me afterwards, says, "Oh, we're going to do it next year." I'm like, "Okay, go ahead. We're not."
Well, that's what makes it special. It makes it different,
Yeah, I don't want to do it every year because then it's just it's not like you said special.
Yeah, you got to do something different. And what let's see. Oh, you had me and Tracy do the morning coffee with everybody. The little talk that we do. And oh my gosh, the women were awesome in our little group. We just talked about a ton of stuff. I mean, y'all had to kick us out to start classes because we were chit chatting. And I know the men had a good time. They all talked, so that was really cool. And what else did we do there? There was also a special presentation for somebody who was inducted into the Hall of Fame. We did a video and a cake, and you got your belt.
And I got to get somebody that took a picture of me wearing it because I never got a picture of me wearing it that night.
Oh, you didn't?
No,
Yeah.
I mean a lot of people took pictures.
You know what you need to do next year? You need to get one of those apps where everybody can share all the pictures into one spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what they did in Louisville, and that was really cool because everybody's pictures were all in one place and you could see everything. It was pretty cool. I liked it.
Yeah. Tell me how we did that. How you did that app? Actually, I should turn it, shouldn't I?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Spangle being the tough guy he is, he sure was a big old crybaby that night.
He was sweating and crying.
Yeah, he was sweating BBs for sure.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was fun.
Special. Very special.
Yeah.
Yes, it was. And Mel did a really good job, with her letter and talking and everything, even though she wasn't feeling too good. And it was just a lot of fun. A lot of people were involved in that and surprising Spangle. But I think he figured something was out when I was out there talking to him about something stupid while we were sneaking the cakes in. He figured out something was going on. He's looking at him like, "What are you talking about?" Like, don't turn around.
As special as that was, the really cool part for me that I really got a kick out of, that really kind of touched my heart, was when Spangle and Jetta started walking back towards the left-hand side of the convention room there, and Mel stopped him and said, "Spangle, where you going?" Pick up here and sit down. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, it was
totally my surprise.
I had some of my family there. Remember?
Yeah.
And I've told them many times about the school, and I don't think they ever grasp how big of a thing this really is. They came up for the presentation. I guess Mel had told them to, hey, come on up and all that. But now they're talking, hey, we want to be there for the whole thing next year.
Getting caboodle.
Yeah. Well, that'd be cool.
I really want to say that, I've been going to a lot of schools. There's a bunch I haven't been to yet, and I they're on my list, but they're all a little different in a different way. But School of Santa's, to me, I always say this. It's like a summer camp. Like you do so much and you're together for so long that you're exhausted every day, but it's you get to know people in a different way. It's very intimate.
Oh my God, Liz, that year we did 2 weeks.
Oh, I know. When Ed Taylor was there, yeah, I know. And then when people were there for the whole week, it was yeah.
Oh yeah, I thought, well, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'll get to rest, catch up on some sightseeing.
Yeah, yeah. That was a lot of work for y'all. I just got to have fun.
Yeah. Well, next year we got a good thing going. We got Joe Barney coming.
Yes,
We're
and
Plus the two shows you got, or really two of my favorite.
Well, before the school starts, okay, we got shows. You know how we do the 2 days before,
mhm.
and on Tuesday our plans are. Have you seen the classic rock icons?
Yes, I love the classic rock icons. Those are my favorites.
So we plan on doing the restaurant, the
Uh-huh.
Grand Country,
hmm
and then going over to the classic rock icons.
I haven't seen it in the new theater yet.
Okay.
Well, in their
In the
new
Majestic?
place. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's really good. We went and seen it.
I love the classic rock. It's one of those shows that I mean, it has every song you want to hear in it. Like when you go and you want to hear those iconic songs, they get it. They get it done. Yeah.
And they said they might even set up the theater and just do a show for the Santas.
Oh, that would be nice. It's a beautiful theater. The way that theater's set up, it's so sweet and cute, but it's beautiful.
Yeah, we're actually going to that theater twice before the school.
Oh, okay. What's the other show we're gonna go see?
Wednesday we will do the murder mystery dinner.
Oh yes, Randy and Debbie Neely's favorite.
Yes, yes. Well, we'll go there and do that, and so we're going to be at the same theater twice, but they're in different theaters in the same building.
Yeah.
One's
Yeah.
upstairs, one's downstairs, and then for the school, 99.99% sure we are doing Clay Cooper on Friday.
Oh, good show.
Hey Goods on Saturday.
Well, we're the Hey Goods Mr. and Mrs. Claus. Yep. So that's a good show. I know that for a fact.
Yes.
Indoor drones. That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And laser light shows.
Mm-hmm.
And I was really kind of worried what some of the Santas were going to say about, all the laser lights coming out into the audience. But if you actually look at the laser lights, they're hitting the wall above the door and below the balcony.
Have you ever watched that show From the Balcony?
No.
Oh, you have to. It's a whole different realm. The way you see the lasers and you think, oh, that's the worst seats, but it's a really cool spot. You'd have to do that one time. Watch the show From the Balcony.
Oh, I'll have to do that.
Yeah.
I've always watched it from the first couple rows.
They gave us tickets last year so that we could see, the Christmas show with us in it and everything because it was a video. And we had to go incognito. Of course, for me, it's easy to go incognito. But Tracy had to go incognito because we were towards the front, so nobody, the camera and everything wouldn't see us. It was pretty funny.
Right. Yeah, we did some videos with them after their show.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw the videos with that you were coming. I loved it.
Yeah. So, anyways, let's go on a little bit, shall we?
Okay.
We could talk about Branson all night, but we don't really need to. So then in August 1st to the 3rd of 2025, y'all attended the Oklahoma State Affiliate Chapter of the IBRBS.
Yes.
Workshop taught by Mrs. Claus Dallas. We all love Darla.
Yes.
And the Jolly Santa Joel Legron, a.k.a. Santa Jojo. How was that?
So, Anita had posted it, Anita and Kelly Ford, and they had posted that they were doing this little workshop. And, I was like, oh, I've always wanted to meet Darla because, maybe some of y'all don't know this, but I stalk a lot of you on Facebook. I stalk you a lot. I watch everything you're doing, and every once in a while I'll say hey or hi or I'll comment. But Darla's one of those people that I've been stalking for a while just because, she's gorgeous and she just exudes this amazing Mrs. Claus. I know a little bit about her, but not too much. But I had to meet her, and of course, Oklahoma is not that far from me, so signed up. I was like going. Went. I realized I knew who Joel was because Joel worked at that. I can't even think of the play, the Jesus play that's in Texas. And my best friend used to dance at that same place. So there, there was that whole 7 degrees of separation thing going on there too. And it ends up being he works for the same company my husband works for. So funny. But so I have never done anything as a solo by myself, Mrs. Claus. I've always done everything with my husband as a couple. I mean, we're going into our 4th season, and so I actually sought out an event in my own neighborhood. We have, we live in a tourist town, so we have a lot of vacation rentals here in our neighborhood, and they do a lot of things in their grill and their clubhouse and everything for the vacationers. And I was like, hey, would y'all like to do a breakfast with Mrs. Claus, at the grill? And they were like, yes. So I'm like, that was too easy. Okay. So I didn't know what I was going to do as a performance by myself because I've never done one. And Darla she totally did it for me. She said all the things she does and this and that. I mean, she was amazing. She everything you thought you were gonna meet with Darla, you get right off the bat. And so she was so kind. She sent me the book that I needed, and I'm really excited about what I'm going to do now just because of her. I feel confident because of her, and she's just the sweetest thing. And then got to see old friends there and make new friends. And Joel, he is amazing. He's just, he's a music guy. I'm not a music person. And so they were trying to be encouraging with the music. And so that was, they were both amazing. And the iBurbs chapter itself, Oklahoma, they are so focused on education and fellowship and encouragement and mentorship. And it was just really cool to see, a chapter doing something for their group, bringing something in like that, and just taking care of it. I mean, the food, the snacks, the room, where they did it. What me and Tracy got to stay with Anita and Kelly Ford at their gorgeous new beautiful house, and they took us to all the cool places to eat, and it was a lot of fun. I loved it so much, and I'm just encourage all you chapter leaders, reach out and do it. And if you don't think you can fill the seats with just your chapter members, put it out to the public. They will come. I mean, I came and I drove all the way from, Branson to Oklahoma, and I loved it. And, Darla and Joel should be teaching more.
Will you be going to their next chapter meeting?
I can't. The next chapter meeting's in October, and I will be at Universal Studios.
October 12th.
Yeah.
I'll be there.
Are you going to be there?
Yeah.
Oh, they did tell me you were going to be there. That's right. You're bringing the trailer.
Yes.
Yeah. You will love them. They're a good group.
Oh, I go.
Okay, good.
Once or twice a year for several years now.
They're a good group. They really are. They're doing the right things, and I loved it. I loved it.
Yep. Well, next you attended August 8th through the 10th. I don't know. Your frequent flyer miles are got to be adding up.
Oh, we drive everywhere.
August 8th through the 10th, Nashville, Middleton, Tennessee, Santa Group, featuring Pat Fallon, 30 plus years. Tell us about that trip, the news, and what was shared, and the cool workshop and the presenters for that whole weekend.
Okay, so Rachel told me we need to go here because Jeanma had invited us, and so Jeanma Holmes, and so we went, and it's the Nashville chapter, of course, and Pat Fallon was the keynote speaker, and I knew of Pat Fallon, and I've seen things about Pat Fallon, but just to see her and hear her, oh my gosh, y'all, a legend, a beautiful human being. I mean, inside and out. And again, someone else that should be out there spreading her mentorship knowledge. She is amazing. And the other speakers at Kringle Brothers were there. It was really cool. And Janma does something different than a lot of us do. She brings people from outside our industry in. So business professionals that came in and taught, social media, photography, things like that, the business management, um, how we should be running our businesses. I think sometimes in our community, we get really focused on our specific business, but we don't realize we're running a small business. And we don't always seek out the tools that can help just small business owners, not, you know, professional performers, but just a small business owner. And it was really cool to see a different perspective because most of those speakers were of a different generation than we are. And so to hear their teaching and what they're doing in, their parts of the industry and how it applies to us was very refreshing. And then we were surprised. We knew we were having a tea party, but during the tea party, we were surprised with a whole new thing that started there, which is the Mrs. Claus Hall of Fame, and Pat Fallon was inducted. So what's cool about this is actually going to be in a museum. So they're curating, let me say this the right way. They're curating a place in one of the Tennessee museums. So what'll happen is they're collecting a lot of her things, her stories or her clothing or, things that are special to her. And it's going to be a curated, what do they call that? Exhibit. Thank you. Exhibit of all her stuff. So that was really cool. Let me see if I find a picture. Hold on. I forgot I had pictures in here. Let me show you the Oklahoma ones before I go on. Here's the Oklahoma chapter. I could talk fast and forever and not stop if y'all don't stop me. You know that,
We
right?
do know this.
Aware.
All right. Is that picture popping up there?
Not yet.
Okay. Can you see it, Angela?
No, not yet.
Okay, let me see if I can get it again. Oklahoma chapter.
You did it before.
I know.
We have faith in you.
Well, that one's not popping up. Let me try the Nashville one. No, it's not popping up either. All right. Let me try the.
Did you close the other one out, Liz?
You know what? I may not have. Cancel. That might be. Nope. Yeah, it's closed out.
Weird.
Well, here's this one.
There we go.
This one is of Pat Fallon and all of us ladies at the tea party. And she got this beautiful award. And it was really sweet and special, It was my very first tea party. I'd never been to a tea party before. How weird is that? And just it was so much fun. And
Where do we see you here?
I'm actually, my face is, where am I? I'm not in that picture.
You are very middle in the back.
Oh, there I am. I'm right behind her. Her white hat. If you look, I have a red hat on.
Yep.
We had to wear little fasteners. That's way in the back. I have my glasses on, so that's why you can't tell it's me. But she was so sweet and gracious and emotional, and it was just beautiful. It was just beautiful. Do you realize she has been doing the Philadelphia parade, the parade she does for like ever? That she's the only person who's been consistent. She's had different Santas, and now she actually rides a float. She has her own float. She's not with Santa. She's the star. It's so cool. It's just so cool. It's so cool. But Nashville was really cool. I loved it. I loved, again, seeing another chapter and what they're doing in the industry and how they're doing their training. And they have big plans for even more training coming up. The hotel they chose was beautiful and gorgeous, and it was awesome. I don't know. I can't. If your chapter's not doing any training and you can't get to big schools, seek out other chapters, y'all. They're out there doing. They're out there. They're doing them. They're doing a good job too. Was there anything else on my list I wanted to talk about?
Yeah, you want to go ahead and let's jump into August 29, 30, and 31st. You attended
Sure. Okay. So that was the one we just,
Coalition.
yeah, that's the one we just came back from,
Yep.
which is the Santas of Color Coalition. That was their Santa Summit and Boot Camp. And it was in Louisville, Kentucky, which I've never been there and got to stay downtown. But let me tell you something. The venue that they had was in the museum. It was like the meeting room above the museum. And it was the Roots 101 Museum. And we got to talk to the curator and owner of the museum, and he did a presentation and everything. And it's the museum is gorgeous, and his goal is to take the uncomfortable subject of slavery and make people uncomfortable in a comfortable way. And his message was amazing. The museum was gorgeous. It was such a family feeling. It was a smaller, group, but a, mighty group. But there was such a loving family feeling, even from going to the restaurant that we got to go to and eat food and the food they had there. And they had a few vendors there. But, the education they gave was a little different. It was a little more, the AI, we had Spanish, we had some marketing. It was a different advanced leveling kind of a thing. And of course, Natasha was there to talk about Mrs. Claus, why the guys got to do beard care. We got to do Mrs. Claus. And we went to a baseball game together, which was so much fun because then the group of Santas got to throw stuff out to the audience. And we were in one of the suites, and it was a great experience. I got to meet a brand new Mrs. Claus that I love, and she's not brand new to the industry. Well, she's brand new to ours, but she's a clown, and she, she was just awesome. What else?
I resemble that remark.
What's that?
I resemble that remark.
Do you know Kanisha?
I think so.
Kanisha, she's Daisy. So she's Mrs. Daisy, but she's Kanisha Decree is her name. And she used to be a cheerleader for the New Orleans Saints, which, Tracy now was following around like a puppy dog. Ooh, she's a Saints cheerleader. But she taught some really cool stuff, and as an entertainer. And I didn't know I liked balloon twisting. Spangle, I like balloon twisting, and I didn't know it.
You didn't know it.
I didn't know it.
We had a class in Branson one time, or a couple times, actually.
I know you did. And I never went because I never thought I'd like it. But I did. I was actually good.
Well, we had them at our Sat Bob's classes too, Spangle, and everybody always enjoyed them.
Yeah. I didn't know until you know.
I'm always looking for more balloon artists in Branson.
Oh, Lordy. That would be interesting.
There you go, Liz. There you go.
I did a really good reindeer. But
dogs are easy.
The networking was awesome there. The connections we made. They had a guy who was doing the drone and stuff, and I've already swiped him for maybe Santa Family Reunion. And but again, there's stuff going on in all these little chapters and networks and groups that I could feel there's a change in what's being taught, what the workshops are about. They're more about what's going on, with AI, what's going on with marketing, social media, what's going on with these new generations, just different things than the same old, regular things that, I say that, but, we've only been doing this for almost 4 years. And, but you could tell the feeling is they want their groups to be a place where people can come and learn and grow and not just, sit around fellowshipping, but actually growing, and no competition. In certain areas, everybody doesn't really meet together and talk about what everybody's doing for their season because they're worried about competition. But a lot of these groups, there's no competition. Hey, I'll help you, you help me, and it's really cool. What was some other things? Yeah,
And it was more like that when I first got into the industry, Liz. But it seems like the last 6, 7, 8 years that there's been that mix of the old guard not wanting to let the new guard in, and we need those young folks like yourself and Tracy and new people coming in that can carry that torch, because us old guys aren't going to be around forever.
yeah,
Well, Bob, that's the purpose of this show, is to share.
yes,
Yeah, absolutely, and that is exactly the pretense of TNL, is mentoring, sharing, teaching, and that's what these shows have always been about and will continue to be about.
and it is really great to have. I mean, there's so many web shows and so many Zoom calls and so many things going on, but there's something to be said about when we all physically see each other, and that was one of the things in Louisville that we were talking about. I mean, I've seen all these people online. I follow them, but when we got to see each other, and your souls touch each other's souls, and there's that a connection emotionally, and it's different. It's different when you physically get to be in person with people, and that's when real relationships start, and that's when real mentorship
Yeah,
can
and
start.
Liz, in your case, I don't think it is considered following all these people online. In your case, I think it's stalking.
I'm stalking them. I do. I'm stalking.
Could it be teetering on the edge of trolling?
Maybe just a little bit, but that's how I learn. That's how I learn. and
That's
and
okay. That's what it's all about.
it's not for copying or stuff. It's inspiration. Watching what these people are doing is so inspiring, and us new people, we actually want to hear from the veterans. We cherish it when it's going on, but um and in a loving way, of course. But it's 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 weird being a new person in the industry, and still trying to learn, but at the same time being asked to be in almost a mentor state, even though I don't know it all when it comes to some of the things. But I have lots of experience in my sales and marketing, all that stuff. That stuff's easy for me. Because
Well,
that's
and you and Tracy aren't newbies anymore. I mean, yes, you've only got 4 or 5 years in the industry, but your 4 or 5 years are solid 4 or 5 years, opposed to a lot of guys who aren't as involved or connected in the community as you guys are. Therefore, your 4 or 5 years is more like 10 or 12 years.
And it's
So,
kind of crazy because, like, I feel like the class of people that we started up with, like the people who've been doing it the 3 to 5 years, we're all in this really weird little spot where we are getting it and figuring it out. But there's a group of us that like just have gone crazy with it, and I
well,
see them. Yeah, I see them at all the events. That's what the difference is. We're
yeah,
out seeking the education. We're out asking questions. We're there to learn, and we're soaking it all in. And
right.
with me and my husband, we're soaking it all in. We're still not in our retired age or any of that stuff. But while we can do it now, we're doing it now, so that later on, it's kind of like building the foundation for it to grow.
Yeah,
And it's really cool to be in a group of people that are going through the same experiences we are, and seeing them, almost the same people, at all the different workshops and stuff. We're like, hey, I didn't know you were going to be here. Hey, I didn't know you were going to be here either. And it's really cool. But there's so many new schools. I mean,
right.
new
Well,
schools, new workshops with ISC not having their thing. We're all popping up everywhere.
yeah, it's popping
Uh,
up everywhere. So, Spangle, let's jump over the one that I had and go to your next one there, because that's the next relevant.
All right. Well, now you've joined a lot of new endeavors and gotten yourself involved in some new events as a presenter and a vendor. with Liz Claus Casuals, starting with North Pole Cornerstones in February 12th through the 15th.
That's next presentation, I guess, correct?
Yeah. So North Pole Cornerstones is, we went the very, very first one y'all had in San
Yes, ma'am.
Antonio. It was so much fun. It was very different than some of the other schools. Again, not different better, not different worse. It's just different. And I feel like all these schools have they have a place.
I
And
did
there's
it.
enough people to go around to go all the schools. So even though there's a bunch popping up, there's plenty to go around. There's no competition. I don't feel like there's competition in the schools. I can't compare, SFR to SOS to, WWOC to NPC. You like all those letters? That was a lot of letters there.
Yeah, I was pretty impressed with how you did that.
SOCC sock. But it's a different type of schooling for sure. And I remember, you were bringing in the Sat Bob stuff. Remember, I was like, wow, why have we ever learned it? Because he was real big into Gordon Bailey. He was really big into like the business part, because of, it was all open
Yeah.
your books and make sure everything. And that was great. I got his books so I could start reading those because of that class. And I was like, this is a great class. And you're like, what comes from Sat Bob's? I'm like, oh my gosh, this is like, how to do your spreadsheet, your expenses, your budget, and all that stuff. And everybody talks about that, but it was taught in a way that we needed it, and that's what came from
Well, we've
Gordon
got
Bailey.
great presenters, and of course, with Chrissy Kovic being part of
Oh
Seth,
yeah, Christy. Yeah, I love
she
Christy.
and I was able to incorporate that, and Judith and Deanna being from Santa Ana was able to incorporate that. So you brought two of your different schools together to make I don't know if you'd call it a super school, but just a different format altogether in the way that we set it up. And
It is kind of a super school because you have really dynamic presenters like across the board. I mean, you got Phineas. Enough said there. I
yeah,
mean, how many dynamic, amazing, gorgeous, fun elves are out there presenting?
right. And I mean, when you look at even this year coming back for 2026, Dr. Bruce Kotovich.
Oh my God. Tracy just found out Bruce was going to be there in NPC, and he wasn't sure he's going to be able to come with me when we came to Oklahoma because of his job. He goes,
Yeah.
Bruce is going to be there? I may have to go now. I mean, Bruce, and then who else?
Jim Langley.
Yes.
Not a lot of folks know Jim. We've had him on the show, but gosh, man, he's been doing it for 50 years, and he's such a student of St. Nicholas, and he's even talked with Father Marquise about taking that and continuing that. Jim's up there in age also, so I don't know how well that will go over, but Jim's phenomenal. Just not a lot of people know about Jim because he's not out there.
And that's what it is. We have so many gems in our industry that aren't out there, and
Right.
you've got to pull them in. And I will say this also: people who are planning workshops or planning anything, reach out to these incredible veterans. They will teach. No one's asked them, and they just want to be asked. Pat Fallon, like she said, no one ever asked her. Jean was the first person to ask her. Oh my gosh, why? You're amazing. We should be doing this.
And you saw Jocelyn and Bob Billick in Oklahoma. They're
Yep.
coming to do a presentation.
Yep.
And Shirley Winter, who Shirley's been out there, she's been at School of Santas and done other presentations.
I love Shirley. Every time Shirley presents, I love it. The book lady is amazing. I'm
Well,
sorry.
and this year at School of Santas, she changed up the way she
I
does
know,
things.
and I missed it because I got
Yep.
pulled over to talk to somebody.
She'll be doing it in
Now
Oklahoma.
I get to see it
So
again.
you get to see it there.
See it again. And she's amazing. You know what? She makes the simple thing of reading a storybook so much more simple.
Yeah.
But with correct reason of why you do the things you do. Like just sitting and reading a book is just sitting and reading a book, but there's a reason behind every part of the aspect of reading it. And I just love her. I think she's great.
Well, she's phenomenal, and even not just her class, but all the different presenters that we have. Our school is interactive, so there you get that small amount of PowerPoint, very little lecture. It's more of a setup to break out into your teams that you're assigned with, that you stay with all week long, and perform. And you get to critique each other in a kind and friendly way, and it's just different, like you said. And hey,
Did you say Pat was coming or not?
who?
Pat.
Moss?
Yes.
Pat is coming, and him and Deanna have put together one of the entertainments. We talked about that. And then, of course, your entertainment one night's going to be pretty cool. You want to mention that, by the way?
The Christmas couple game show. That's all I'm going to give you. It's going to be a game show, but it's going to be a learning lesson at the same time, and it's going to be fun and it's going to be hilarious.
Pretty cool. I mean, there's just so much. Nick the reindeer guy is coming back.
I know there's going to be a live reindeer. I haven't, besides in Branson seeing a live reindeer, but not actually be able to touch it. I haven't got to do a live reindeer. I was so excited when you said there was going to be a reindeer. I was like, oh,
yeah. Maybe you need to drive up to Miranda's sometime.
I know we do. It's always on my list of things we're going to want, especially when she does that little open house thing and all that.
Maybe the four of us ought to make a road trip.
That would be cool. That would be fun. We might need to do that. For sure. What was some of the other things that are going at North Pole? Oh, I'll be a vendor.
Yep. Which you've stepped out and done since SFR.
Yeah.
And Spangles. You had a really nice display. So you're also coming to Oklahoma City and set up there. So
yeah. So I'll have
cool stuff. She's got some really freaking unique
purses. Yeah.
She grabbed this ear at School of Santa's and said, "Look, Spangle, I need this spot to be this big, to here to here."
You only gave me this much room, and my purses didn't even fit in that much space. So I'm really excited about North Pole Cornerstones. I'm just going to say, if anyone's in the area and they can drive there, do it. The Bricktown thing is going to be awesome. I mean, it's Valentine's weekend. I mean, how much fun is it going to be? Go on. It wouldn't be a double day. It'd be what a quintuple date. What would it be, like a Google date?
A group date.
Was it Goggle when it's like a whole bunch? It would be all those people together.
Yeah, and Scott, by the way, Scott Saracen is down in Bricktown tonight doing a reconnaissance, and he's supposed to report tomorrow. Liz and I, along with Deanna, if we can catch Deanna tomorrow, are going to get together and get a report from Scott, or he'll probably send somehow or another anyway. So
Oklahoma City is gorgeous. It's a beautiful little city. I love it. They have the little scooters you can go around town. Bricktown is beautiful with the waterway, and the weather should be nice. I mean, everybody thinks it's a little north and it'd be too cold, but it's not going to be that bad in Oklahoma City. The weather should be fine. Okay. But I'm really excited about it. And if anybody's in the area, come to NPC. Trust me, you will love it.
Absolutely. And Spangle, there's your picture. That's courtesy of Chris Terry, son of Chris.
How do I enlarge that?
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure, Angie.
Have him send me that picture.
No?
I think he sent it to you already.
Okay. All right. But anyways, I want to answer Neil here for a second. He says, where do I sign? Go to npcornerstones.com and you'll find out everything you need to know there.
That's correct. And Liz is working with us as our marketing director, and she's doing a phenomenal job. We want to say thank you to Liz for all she does, not just for us, Santa Family Reunion, all the different endeavors that she has put herself out there. Again, Spangle, I'm like you. I don't know how she finds time for all this. And in doing the presentations and her LizzyClaus.com website, where she has all of her cool stuff that we were just talking about. Now, before we go to break, we want to mention you will be doing a presentation next year at School of Santa's, July 16th to the 19th. So if you are in the Branson area,
I'll be at School of Santa's doing a presentation, and I'll be at NPC doing a presentation.
Correct. So those are
apparently y'all think I'm smart.
Two of the first ones that
you had a space, okay? You know. There was just another space we had to fill.
I know. I'm a good space filler, right?
Well,
Branson will be with another young lady too.
Yes.
yeah,
Tracy Pierce.
A
yeah.
different Tracy.
We're talking about
Not your
MP3.
Tracy, a different Tracy.
I know. It was funny because Bob asked me, no, you asked me, Spangle. You're like, would you teach something with Tracy? I was like, yeah, he's not very comfortable with it. You pause and you're like, oh no, Tracy Pierce. Like, oh, the other Tracy, yeah.
Just got too many people with the same name going on. All right,
Yeah.
so stick around, everyone. We're going to take a quick break here. When we get back, we're going to discuss a little bit more with Liz about what she's got going on, and we'll have our Q&A. Lots of questions have been popped in as we've been talking, so stick around. We'll be back on the other side of this commercial.
Oh, hello there. Yes, of course, it's me, Santa Claus. Now, you may not believe this, but one of the questions I get asked the most is, well, not how do I do it all in one night? No, but where do I get all my things from? Yes, now, what am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the finest things I have. My glorious gloves, all my knickknacks and trinkets and things. Yes, all the giveaways. Yes, for me to give to the children before the main event. Yes, if I see them in the streets, if they come and see me, I like to have something in my pocket I can treat them with. Yes, and there's one special place where I can find all these magical goods. And that is, of course, stuffforsanta.com. You should head there now and see what magical gifts you can find. Mrs. Claus, have you got my ice pad? Yes, log me on, I'm going to have a look. I shall see you there. Stuffforsanta.com. Merry Christmas.
Hey, I just want to show a couple of these things here real quick. A couple of our new buckles real quick here. Evangeline, pull me up there. There we go. Look at this. Just beautiful. Merry Christmas. We got that in gold, antique gold. We got it in like a pewter. We got it in silver. We got it all kinds of ways. Real nice. And we're going to give you guys a little special here. Look at this one, too. This one will have all the different colors, too. This is a real nice buckle. They all fit a 4-inch belt. $90, and we'll ship it to you free. Just send me a private message. It's not on our website.
That's cheap enough.
Yeah. But anyways, just some pretty buckles.
That looking at that from what I see on the screen, and I had mentioned this to you earlier, the original big Santa buckle that everybody talked about back in the late teens, is that basically about that same size?
It might actually be a little bit bigger. I mean, this is
large.
this is 9 inches from thumb to finger.
That would be kind of a centerpiece for sure.
Yep.
And
And
when the new guys are coming into the industry and they start off with that flappy belt that hangs crooked and doesn't have a timekeeper and everything, boots and belts and buckles are the first upgrade. So, guys, if you're looking for a great buckle, that's a beautiful one, or both of those, or all those are.
These have been out of stock. We just got more in today, so they'll be listed back on our website.
Those are for your vehicles, correct?
Yes. We have Santa, Mrs. Claus, Elf, all that stuff. Santa Claus. Yeah, check it out. Anyways, what about if we go to some viewers, huh?
Well, no, we got a few more things to do before we do
know.
that.
I saw the time. I need to talk fast, don't I?
Well, yeah, it's already we're getting down in there pretty deep. But hey, the one thing that you really come to talk about too was the post that Spangle's going to drag you into here.
And I just lost my list. There we go. What am I dragging her into?
WWOCS. I don't guess you do the O, or do you do the O? Yeah, you do the O and OS.
We don't have the S. We just
all those ABCs were confusing me.
I know.
I didn't make my list here bigger. Oh, okay, there we go. We have seen a post about the Wondrous Woman of Christmas Society 2 conventions in 2026. share the news of these new events. Lots to cover here.
Yeah, there is a lot to cover. So basically, Rachel King and I, Santa True's in there. We call him the godfather of WWOC. We have two events going on. One's in June in Cincinnati, and one's in St. Charles. The one in September of 2026. Both are pretty much the same. The cool thing about the St. Charles one is we're going to be on downtown Main Street where they do all their cool, because it's a Hallmark Christmas town. They like celebrate Christmas like crazy, and the whole town is helping us plan this event. But we're going to have a parade going down that, so that's really exciting. But you can go to our website and see all the cool things that are happening. We have registration open right now. It's blowing up. We're really excited how much is blowing up. An interesting fact, it is for men and women. Women are bringing their husbands. We will have breakout sessions where the men go off with Santa True and they do their own, man training. And then the women will have something. But it's interesting because so far it's 35% men and 65% women that are registered. So instead of it being the other way around, which is usually reverse those numbers, it's going to be predominantly women. And so we're really excited that the Mr. Ambassadors is what we're calling them are there to support us and bring us in, because we're trying to change the industry in that women are included in the Christmas traditions. And we need you fellow Santas to, upsell the thing. That's the the Kentucky
Yeah,
Santa's
you could
Color
come up
Coalition.
earlier and I seen it
Yeah,
pop up. I thought
that's
it
our
was.
group there. Look how cool the group is.
Let me just show it real quick so we can.
It was a fun group, let me tell you. We even learned how to do the Santa slide, which there's videos out there. People can probably go and see it. All of us doing the Santa slide together. It was a lot of fun. But so the WWOC, it's very curriculum heavy. It's going to be a lot of fun. We got just go to the website. It's a lot of stuff to talk about. But I will say this: it's going to be a completely different type of conference. We're calling it a conference instead of a school because it's got so many weird, crazy, off the chart ideas. Out of the box things we're doing, and we're really excited. We appreciate all the support that's going on, and like I said, registration. It's insane what's going on with registration. And then on top of what else do I have to say with that? So there was a reach out to me by North Pole Cornerstones and some other people to help them with their planning of their workshops or their schools or their conferences. You're not the only one who's called me about it. I've had a lot. And so I thought it just hit me, sometimes when you're driving in the car and you get the radio off and all those, brain things go on. You have all these ideas. I know Spangle comes up with lots of ideas. I don't know when he does it, but those weird ideas just keep popping here. Well, this one came up like, well, you know what? Maybe I should teach a class on how to do the registration and all the stuff that I do. And I was like, well, I could add that to the school. And Rachel's like, we have no time, Liz. Every minute is allocated. I was like, well, we can add it to the Wednesday before. So I am offering to you workshop organizers, or even if it's a Zoom call or whatever, if you're charging someone, or it doesn't even have to be a charging. If you're doing a registration for people to attend something that you are doing, I am going to teach how to do that in this workshop. And it is an additional fee. It's not part of the conference itself, but you can go to the website. The website is womenofchristmas.com. Womenofchristmas.com. Or you can stalk me on Facebook and you'll see everything there is of all the things I talked about today too.
How much is your class?
We talked about, you guys being a little bit younger, coming into the industry. Your mindset as far as social media and marketing has evolved more than us older guys who just 15, 20 years ago figured out that there's a computer and how to push the buttons. You guys have grown up with things that we didn't have at your age. So you're light years ahead of us there. And I've got to say that working with Liz through Cornerstones and School of Santas and everywhere else that we cross paths and interact, we're on the phone a lot. We're doing calls together, messenger calls. She is so efficient in the websites, the numbers. You're a numbers person. You like to see who, how, when, where, and what. And those are all things that she can teach you to do that will by far set you a step above in that realm of things.
Well, Jeanma's real big. She was talking about doing surveys and things like that and taking what you get with surveys and applying it. The software that I use has so much information you can collect to move on. I mean, even when, if somebody goes onto your registration form and doesn't sign up, you can still capture that information if you do it the right way. There's so much you can do with, like you said, numbers, statistics. I mean, 35%, 65%. Why is that important to know? Well, it's important to know for your vendors. It's important to know for your curriculum. How many years they've been doing the business, been performing. It's important for your curriculum. These are things you can gather during registration, and it's all automated. You don't have to send out a Venmo and then see who filled out your Google form and then, put it in a spreadsheet. And then now you have to create a name badge and you have to hand type it. All of that can be automated. And the same cost that you pay to do a credit card charge or anything like that, that's all the fee is. And as far as cost, I'm charging $100 for this workshop. But here's the cool part. Once you finish my workshop and you're ready to start your form and get it all done, I'm going to be there to help you set it all up. I'm going to tell you, these are the steps you need to do. Now make sure you click this button, because otherwise they're not going to, it's going to be required, or, you want to collect your money this way, or, so I'm going to be there to help them implement what I've taught them.
You don't want me taking that workshop because you'll be at my computer saying, Spangle, did you not listen to anything we told you?
No, I know what happened with you, Spangle. You take the workshop and then you say, okay, well, when you're done creating my form, let me know it's done.
Yeah, exactly. So, Liz, do you have on where you can share the resources that you wanted to put up as far as the websites? Do you have that?
I did not put that up, but
Okay.
What I'm going to do is, if anybody has any questions about all the things I talked about, please reach out to me on Facebook. If you don't have Facebook, then you go to Santa Family Reunion website, which is santafamilyreunion.com, and you can send me a message.
Got that. You got the womenofchristmas.com. You've got LizzyClaus.com. You've got schoolofsantas.com. ChristmasPerformanceWorkshop.com.
I can probably pull it up. Hold on. Let me go to my form real quick.
Yeah, if you've got it, and again, Santas of Color Coalition.com and then mpcornerstones.com. Those are all things that Liz has talked about tonight and she is involved with.
I'm going to pull it up right now.
Okie dokie.
I gotta do something for John.
John
Schnegelberger.
Yeah.
I gotta do something for John Schnegelberger.
Hang on. Can you say that, John?
What does he say on it?
Unknown cowboy fan. It was my Halloween costume last year.
Yes. Well, Bob, you seen why they have that 1 star, right?
Why?
Because that's their rating.
Yeah, I believe it. How
about them sending your guy to Green Bay?
Yeah, how about that? He's your problem now, not ours.
Well, I think he's going to be good, don't you think?
Oh, well, he's excellent. He's one of the top players in the league. I mean, there's no doubt
I
that he's
don't have it. I don't
off.
have it where I can pull it up. Oh, I can
Okay,
share the screen though, can't I? Never mind.
that's what I was saying. If you had it to share, we could throw it up that
I
way.
can share my screen. I was trying to pull up the file instead of just sharing my screen.
Just in case somebody wanted to capture a screenshot of those websites.
All
Because
right.
again, we stand here and spell them out, but who's got time to grab that and write it down as we go? So
Well, you could do an AJ and copy and paste.
I was trying to share the thing instead of share entire screen.
if that won't work, we can always just put it up on the Facebook group page.
Okay. Can you see it?
No. Yeah, sort of.
So if you want to take a screenshot of that real quick, guys, grab your phone. Those are all important websites to everything that Liz has talked about tonight. If you're interested in going to any of these gatherings, schools, chapters, workshops, whatever you want to call them all, they're all educational and they're all beneficial to you becoming a better Claus performer. All right, Spangle, now let's do what you was going to do earlier.
Now I don't even know what we were going to do. Okay, let's go to our viewers and see what they got for us.
Okay, let's see.
Okay, so John Schuberger, mentoring and learning is what brought me in. Teasing my Dallas fan is a bonus.
Yeah, he's messing with Angie about the Cowboys and stuff. They have fun going backwards and forth. AJ says, Liz, I may convince my mom to come to your school since my cousin Hannah lives in Cincinnati.
Oh, that would be fun. And it's really interesting, though, because we call it Cincinnati, but the school venue is actually in Kentucky, but it's like literally on the border.
Yeah.
Real close to the hotel is in Cincinnati, but the venue is, and it's this gorgeous old courthouse. It's really beautiful.
Now, the next one we got to meet in Gatlinburg, you and Tracy went and spent time with Neil and Karen and brought them to meet everybody. You and along with Jen and Doug brought them over and introduced us to us. And, we had them on the show back a month ago or so. Spangle, you want to catch that one?
Yeah, he says, hey, guys, I've made it. Hey, Liz.
Hey, Liz.
They were the sweetest, funnest couple ever. That was so much fun.
They are so much fun. And I tell you what,
I was just carrying my kangaroo Christmas bag today.
we don't get to interact with the guys down under like as much as we do with the folks here in the mainland. But I tell you what, man, there are so many great Claus performers down under, and they are two of the top ones in my eyes. And what a cool gig they have up there on top of the mountain.
I know. I'm jealous, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Santa Mel says, Liz, thanks for helping and keep me alive with my voice. And that stems back to School of Santas. Many of you may know Mel got laryngitis. She couldn't talk, and she was the MC.
Yeah.
So she's trying her best to save her voice, still be able to get up there in front of the classroom for 4 or 5 days and speak. And I'll tell you what, she was a trooper. We all were so worried about her. She didn't look good. She didn't have energy. She couldn't breathe. She had an infection in her lungs. And it's a long story, but she's healthy again and doing well. And we are so glad. Praise the Lord.
All right. I got to say thank you to Santa Chris because he says, hi, all. SOS was awesome.
And he also sent you the picture of you with the belt. So
yes.
Again, Mel says, no, had a great time too. Liz got to dance and sing to the song. And we're speaking of the School of Santa's theme song.
Yep. I probably wasn't really singing. I was probably just lip syncing.
That's all right. It looked good.
Deanna Golden says the 2-week idea was exhausting but incredible. She's talking about SOS. July in Branson is darn hot and humid. Glad we were there.
Hey, welcome to the South. But she lives in Arizona most of the year.
Yeah.
where the humidity is very low. It does get hot, but the
It was
humidity.
really humid this year too. Like you walked out, your glasses, steamed right up.
Yep,
And I always like it when Deanna and Kim are around because I can take Kim's $5 bills.
Betsy says, "Hi, sweet Liz. Love seeing you on TN."
Glenn, hi
Pat Weston says, Darla, great work at high school last year.
Yeah, and the first couple of years that I took over as main instructor for Sat Bobs, Gordon never had guest speakers, and that was my first objective. Was, hey, let's bring in a Mrs. Claus to help put this together. This was before Christy moved from California to Texas and become part of the school. But Darla and Spangler and I worked together on, I guess, the first couple of years that I did Sat Bob's classes.
She's awesome.
Pat Weston says, thanks, Liz. Say hello to your husband. Say only if I have to, right?
He's watching in the other room, so he heard.
All right.
Anita Ford did join us tonight. She says, great job, Liz. Love ya.
Oh, I love you too, Anita.
And Stephen Kieran said, we're competitive people, but not in a competition with each other.
That's correct.
That's a good one.
True. And some people may feel like it's a competition within. And for us, for us that live in the bigger cities, there's so much work that there's no way that we're competition with each other. If someone takes a gig, there's so many more gigs out there to catch. So many go unfilled each year. So it's not like a competition in the bigger cities. I can understand if you're in a rural area and there's a couple of Santas that live close and you don't have but a couple of hundred people, and that may kind of feel more like competition between the two Santas, but I really don't think so. I still think that you work together, build your clientele, and it serves everybody well.
And where we live in a small town, and but of course it's a tourist town. But I mean, don't you think, Spangle? Sometimes we mix here and mix there, but nobody really bumps heads around here. There's so much work to be done. We're always sharing work because there's not enough of us.
Right.
Sometimes. So,
All right. Let's move on and let's say thank you to those who support our show. And we couldn't do this without their help because they are the ones who help put us on the platform and back us with the things that we need to do the job that we do.
Something right now.
Yeah.
Take the paper bag off.
I was over here typing with John.
Yeah, she's over having fun.
What am I doing?
Playing the commercials.
King Commercial Caboose and Therm Apparel.
Okay.
commercial.
Ho, 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 ho.
Shop Therm Apparel. They're wonderful. They're fantastic. And for the coolest of cool Santas or Easter bunnies, remember Therm Apparel.
Don't just be cool as an attitude. Keep cool, literally.
Therm Apparel. Be cool.
Ho, 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 ho.
ho, ho.
Yep, pretty cool, pretty cool. Thank you to King Risk Partners, Caboose, Thermapparel. Uh, again, they great products, great folks that we all believe in.
And
Yep.
they help make this
We own
show
them. Go
free.
ahead.
They
Yeah,
help make the show free for everybody.
yeah, we
That's
own all of those products.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. If you don't, you're crazy because they're all needed really bad in our
That
industry.
Thermapparel, I use it. We do craft fairs. I wear that Thermapparel all the time, and I'm always telling them, "You have to try this stuff." They're like, "Oh my gosh, it's amazing!" I'm like, "It's the bomb." And Tracy was wearing his caboots all day today.
Hey, why not? Right?
I got to get my tracings for my caboose. He sent me a message just the other day. Said, "Hey, I need your tracings."
Yeah, I got him to do mine in Branson while we were there. So,
He's
all
so
right.
fun.
So
Fun
let's go
person.
ahead and reveal tonight's trivia answer. SchoolofSantas.com, StuffForSanta.com. Trivia answer is: how does the Grinch know that Christmas has come regardless of his actions? That is because everybody in every Who down in Whoville is singing. Where did the Grinch live? He lived in Mount Crumpet, and that is just north of Whoville. And he had lived there for 8 years, according to the movie. Our winner?
Now, Bob, that's not correct.
What's not correct about it?
He did not live there for 8 years, according to your thing.
Oh, I'm sorry. Since he was 8, you're correct, Smiggle.
Yeah.
I read that wrong. Since he was 8 years old.
Yes.
Winner?
It was Larry Davis on YouTube.
Larry Davis on YouTube. Fantastic. Santa Larry. You're rocking, man. You're rocking. All right, Spangle. So what's your closing thoughts about tonight's show?
Well,
Or anything
I just
for that
don't
matter.
know how Liz keeps it all together. There
She's
must
going
be
to
a
break.
lot of duct tape and zip ties in that family.
No, my house is a mess.
Look at this. We just got back from a convention. We got toters everywhere.
I'm not a housekeeper. That's how I do it all.
How do you have time with everything else you got going on? I mean, well, anyway, Liz, we want to thank you so much for coming on the show tonight, sharing everything that you've got going on. You are definitely an asset to the community, an asset to School of Santas, and an asset to North Pole Cornerstones, and an asset to TNL. I mean, you've always been great about coming on and sharing, and you're always there, a phone call away, and we love that about you. You're so accessible, and we love you, and Tracy, and we'll just
And
say,
I am so proud of you for getting that it part, that asset. They never include the it part with me. All right,
You're
all
like,
right, everybody.
I never knew I didn't
Check out,
want, right?
check out all of our TNL network stuff. We got Bob and Phoenix on Monday. Phoenix continues his series on character development.
he does. I'll be back on there Monday with Phineas, and he will carry on there as the season winds down for us over there. I think we've got 5 weeks left, maybe. And on this show here, we don't have many weeks left. It's getting down to the nitty gritty now. I want to say be sure and watch Sean White's Claus Connect on Mondays. Always a great show. Sean brings it.
Hey, don't forget about us right here where it all started, the Tuesday Night Live Show. Join Bob, Angela, and myself every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Central, right where you're at.
And then what happens the next night?
Hey, we have Kringle Time with the Kringle Brothers on Wednesdays. I mean, come on now.
And then on Thursdays, we have Santa's Magical Fellowship Group with Santa Mel. And I think this week, I haven't confirmed it, but I believe that the what did I say that? The Polar Opposites is probably going to follow her show this week. But hey, just check with Mel or go over to Santa's Magical Fellowship Group and check out what they got going on because they're always cooking up something cool over there.
Hey, there's always something new happening around here. So come new in March of 2026, the Couple Claus Santa Workshop with Santa Doug and Jenny Kringle and Santa Chris and Kim Terry.
That's correct. They had a get-together last night where they ran through their pilot that they're going to be debuting later on this season. And we do have them on the show here in a few weeks. So Look forward to that. It's going to be pretty cool talking about the couple's Claus and Santa's workshop. Tune in, kick up your heels, join in for the fun for 2025, all powered right here by the Network Productions. Thanks to everyone as associated with TNL, all of the contributors that we have. We have a whole group of them. I used to list them every night, but the list has gotten so long that we just say thank you to everyone. You all know who you are, and I think our audience does too. Tell everyone good night, Spangle.
Good night, Spangle. And Liz, don't go nowhere.
That's right. Stick around, and don't forget us on Tuesday nights. Count your blessings, not your sorrows. Have a blessed week. Our whole TNL production crew wants to say thank you as always. I'm Santa Bob McMasters saying good night. And good night to Angela. Thank you, Angela. Thank you, Liz. Thank you, Spangle.